So here we are in the summer. I'm not sure if it's gonna rain while we do the work that we need to do today. So we're just gonna roll with it. We'll do as much as we can. And the main focus today is gonna be pruning wildflowers and our native flowering bushes, because you can see while I did prune the door, I did not prune in front of this window because summer. And we need to kind of pull this back because there's wildflowers in front of the window that are kind of getting overshaded. So we need to do that. And we need to take care of the June sunflower and a couple other areas. Oh, with these ones, there's the, the path back here. We need to go and clean that up so that, I can walk on it, because in the next week, we're going to be resetting for fall vegetable gardening, and I need to be able to access the beds easily without doing the hopping thing that I've been doing lately to not step on the beach verbena and frog fruit. So most of the focus today is going to be on pruning wildflowers. Okay, so here's what's going on, right? So we need to trim this edge, because while we cleared the path for the mailman to make it to the door, he made a trip on all my native ground covers. And then you can see what once was my path is gone. So we need to open that back up, because in the next couple weeks, I gotta fill up these vegetable beds again. They've got massive drop on them from the soil that was in there. And yeah, so I need to be able to access. That's the thing. And then I was thinking of just cleaning up some of the bees balm a little bit. And while it's fabulous that it'll reseed right there, I don't want any of it to get into the vegetable bed. So we shall cut it back and trim it back. And the same thing with the blanket flower, also doing a very good job of minimizing how much sidewalk we have. Oh yeah, and I need to prune some of the firebush back, because while I did prune it back from the door, it's way in front of the windows and it's blocking out our beech mist flower and our petunias and stuff. So this way. What do we think? It's pretty good, right? Excellent job. All over this. Good. Finally access the space. I think I did the hardest thing first, so I'm feeling good about that. Onward! Getting that time of day, but I'm almost done, so. There you go. How's that look? The one looks a little top heavy, but I feel bad. I cut back so many flowers. I'm gonna leave it for right now. Let it fill in and then I'll zhuzh the shape. Our wildflower pile is getting nice and big. And I'm probably gonna use it to set. I'll show you in what area really quickly. Because my original plan when I was thinking about doing just the frog fruit twin flower thing, I had still planned on putting a wildflower thing up here. There'll be a video coming out, I think in August, on how to make milkweed from cuttings. Because I'm growing it now, and I'm doing like what I did with the mulberry video, where like every 7 days I do a update so you can see how it would look across that time period. So the intent, if you kind of look at how my grass is you can see the vegetable garden kind of is this nice straight line up until that banana, and then there's like grass in there. But then there's kind of this. And if you notice, this is a lot of like weeds, and that's because my kids like to dig it up and make tunnels and paths and roads and whatever. They have like little construction cars, so they tend to dig up the grass anyway. So I was like, well, why don't I just right there anyways, and then this becomes all wildflowers, and then other than like a little strip of mulch here so that I can access this regularly. Like that's the jam, like that's the thing. So I'm thinking what I do is when I get the mulch is I will lay the mulch here, and then I will take a lot of that seedy frog fruity material and I'll mix it in this section, because then if we get some coreopsis, we get some blanket flower, right? And we have the milkweeds I propagate, because I have both swamp milkweed, our native swamp milkweed, and butterfly weed that I propagated. I want to add those in here because I think it will just add like another pop of color. And because, you know, we talked about with like milkweed, what we talked about with monarchs is they like to have that north to south access, and the access they have over there, especially with the Ponciana, the flamboyant filling in, is a little bit rougher. So, and they love flying through that like vegetable garden area. So I figured if I put some right here, they'll be excited. So that was going to be like an extension of milkweed, wildflower kind of area there too. So, and then path right in front of those logs for access. Maybe it'll curve slightly, whatever, but it'll be aesthetically pleasing. And then it'll go, and then maybe we'll do, I don't know what over there. And the butterflies have been loving the vegetable arches. I know we're talking a lot of natives right now, but they really like the vegetable arches. They hang out and flit and float through there a lot. But I had, like I was talking about, like the grass in the front yard, the grass in the backyard, we've been trying to like work towards this plan of not having grass anymore. And my plan for the front strip, like there's not much here. Like if I turn you guys around, like there's just this strip, there's like a little back there, and then there's some like around the bananas. And you can see around the bananas, it's getting leggy. And I know for like the landscape guys who try their best, we do have an atypical yard. This is challenging. And from like the grass perspective, it's too shady in the summertime. This is not really good. So we're gonna do something different. So that was the plan. We've known this is gonna be the plan. The other day, really bad thunderstorms. Like, oh my gosh, I have not heard thunder like this. I can't remember hearing thunder this bad. What is going on? I think it was because a lot of transformers blew, including the one that supports our house. So we had no power that night. So long story short, I didn't sleep very well, but I started having like these fever dreams, and I had a vision for the front strip. And it was just like, oh. And then it just hit me, like instead of doing what I was originally thinking, which was doing like frog fruit and twin flower kind of mix for that front strip, but I was like, you're gonna have grasses and perennial flowers, and it's gonna have a different look. It's not gonna be like the herbaceous kind of like, you know, how fire bushes. It's gonna be more of that like prairie-ish look. That's what you're gonna do. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Not today. Today we're gonna prune wildflowers. And the reason it's important we prune wildflowers is I need to assess how much mulch I need as I get ready to reset the vegetable beds, refill the raised bed gardens. And then if I'm going to do this project, which I'm going to do this project, then, you know, I need to know I gotta get a sense of how much mulch am I doing, and then what other areas may I add ground covers because this is gonna be it. We're just, it's gone. It's gone. By the time Christmas hits, there's no grass in the front yard, which I'm really excited about. But you know who's even more excited? Not as much about whatever I'm gonna do, is more of just like no grass, is Ben. Ben's like, he's like, forget grass, we're done with grass. That landscaping company we're using, like, as soon as you replace all the grass in the front yard, he's like, we're done with them. We're just, and I'm like, whoa, but Ben, like, we've not replaced all the grass in the backyard. And they do hedge trim the exotic plants back there. I think I've said this before, but like, I don't invest the time in learning the exotic plants that I've in my head are eventually gonna go. I don't think it would be terribly hard to take care of most of it, because I'm pretty sure they only like hedge trim like every 3 months really quickly, and they just kind of go like, bleh. It's not like as much finesse as I might do. So, and he was like, well, just get a guy who can just mow the back, because like if you're getting rid of the front like that, like what are they doing then? And I'm like, well, valid point. So he's super excited about that. But what I would love to hear from you guys is, as I think about this, you know, grassy strip, I'm thinking like, I'm thinking not just like wildflowers. Like I want like grasses. I want everything to be kind of below 1 to 2 feet. I want to have like pretty good sight lines still, but I want lots of different textures, and I would like to do some stuff that's kind of got the silvery tones, golden tones. I don't want to necessarily do a ton of herbaceous stuff like that, though I'm okay with it. But I do want to pick up some more of these like kind of goldish silver tones that we can kind of get here. So just, that's my thoughts. If you have ideas, I would love to know your ideas. Some of the things that are in my head right now is like things like muhly grass, because I love muhly grass. It's a pretty grass, but that one might be too big. I think love grass is a little bit smaller and does similar flowering stuff. So that's one I'm thinking about. Liatris blazing star. I wanted it for back there. They didn't have it at the time, either of the nurseries. So that was one I was thinking about. I was also thinking about scrub blueberries, you know, so kind of like those kind of tones. I don't necessarily want to do any goldenrod up here, because goldenrod spreads like a lot. Like we have goldenrod growing in our grass from the goldenrod that's like all the way over there at the garage. Wait, yeah, that way's the garage. So I'm not thinking anything like goldenrod. I wouldn't do yellow top, because I know that one just spreads all over the place. But yeah, I would love to hear your ideas, because yes. And one of the reasons I had stopped myself from before with this concept is because I was worried about access to the vegetable garden. But I was like, girl, and this is what the fever dream, like the half awake thing that I was doing. I was like, y'all put a path right here. Why would you not just put a path once you like get rid of the grass? I was like, oh, duh, why not? Like, so that's what we're gonna do. What we'll make it out of, I don't know. Maybe someone else will tear out their pool and I'll get free stuff again. Or we'll actually buy something. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But right now, what plants, and then kind of thinking through how much mulch I need, because I think that's just gonna be like half a truckload all by itself, because it's just a lot of landscape. I'm also gonna need to talk to my neighbors, Kim and Shane, because technically like that short little strip right there of grass is their yard. So that is the thought process. So love to hear your guys' ideas. I am Pinellas County, Zone 10A. I do know about the Florida Native Plant Society tool, but I like hearing from your all's experiences, because you guys have given me so many good ideas. You guys give each other good ideas. So why would I not ask for your help, as I am in this fever dream? And yes, there's gonna be plans to do the backyard, but I ain't doing all that before fall. Because we got a lot of vegetable gardening we got to get going, because it's the beginning of the season. Butterflies. And if you're looking for good ideas, like check out the comments. People give lots of good ideas, and I don't know if y'all have been seeing a lot of those community posts. I've been trying to like put up stuff because I think it's super helpful. It was helpful for me, but I also think it's helpful for you all to see answers from each other. And that's why I tried to do a bunch of these polls throughout the week, because I think it's interesting to see what you guys like the most of, because sometimes I think y'all are gonna go, you're gonna zig and you guys zag on me, and I'm like, oh, that's really their top answer. Interesting. So especially if you're a new gardener in Florida and in your recent transplant, like check out the community tab in YouTube on my channel, and you'll see lots of polls now where it's just like, what's your favorite tropical bush? What's your favorite, like what are you growing right now for fall or whatever. And I'm gonna keep doing that, so you guys can start seeing each other's answers, read the comments. There's lots of good comments. So I'm really excited about this, like this journey we're gonna go on in the next month. I mean, we've got vegetable stuff that's gonna happen, but like from the losing the lawn perspective, like this is gonna be a lot of work. but I'm really excited about it because I just think like we're just moving it forward. We're just gonna be trying out different things. We're gonna just go with the flow, and we're moving beyond like the standard landscape. You know what I'm talking about. Like when you're in Florida, like it's the same 20 plants like in everybody's yard. And go to an HOA community, ugh, it really, like the more recent the neighborhood was built, the more like everybody's yard looks the same, like everybody's yard. Which I saw this really funny post, and I was like, that is so true. This guy was like, how come when people are buying houses, they're very like, oh yeah, we upgraded. We didn't stay with the builder grade fixtures. We didn't stay with the builder grade countertops. We upgraded to fill in the blank Carrera marble or whatever. He's like, then why is everyone doing builder grade landscapes? I was like, exactly. All these lawns are builder grade. These are basic plants. Basic, super cheap. Yeah, they endure and blah, 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 but everybody's got them. Everybody's got them. It's so boring at times. Like legitimately so boring. Because everybody has variegated shuffler, Indian hawthorn, right? Like everyone's got it, and it's just like the same plants. And so if you got crepe myrtle, you probably have the lavender one. I'm telling you, it's the same stuff all the time. So be the change you want to see. And if you want to be all like, oh yes, we got a new home and we upgraded features, and your neighbors can be like, oh, us too, we got the whatever tile. And you can be like, oh, we upgraded our landscape, not those cheapy plants. And this is how we can be the change. These are the luxury plants, my dear, the luxury plants. Sometimes I crack myself up. Could you imagine everyone's going to the landscapers in the future and they're like, I don't want those standard plants. Those are builder grade plants. They're not fancy enough for my $500,000 house. You must be putting in the luxury plants. Like, what is the Fendi in the plant landscaping world? What would that be? I was trying to think, what would you say? What in the native plant world would be like the luxury plants that like people are gonna look at and be like, oh, that seems like money, So let's put some of those in the comments down below. Solidega, then you don't even call it by the common name. Then you use just like the Latin scientific names, and then now you're really like, you got the pinky up. Like you come out with your teacup into the garden to discuss with all your HOA neighbors who are like, it doesn't look the same in everyone else. And you're like, I know, because that's what cheap people use. We're gonna call it, because it's summer, Don't die of heat exhaustion in summer. Or if you get a heat exhaustion, lay down, take a nap, have a fever dream that inspires you to do native plants, the luxury plants, not builder grade. And so if you need some inspiration of things that you may want to be planting, check out last week's video on low maintenance lawn alternatives. And if you want to see what the wildflower garden looked like after 2 months and how pretty it was, check out this video here. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.